What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to another rendition of Sports Bets, but mostly Chaos presents to you. Can Cohooney guess the spread? And we are on to week number 15 of the NFL season. We're well into December now. We're like, 10 days away from Christmas. So things are getting cold here in the Bay Area, which I know isn't super cold compared to where some people might be, but it's pretty cold for Dover here. So
Well, it's the wind that really sucks.
yeah, it's true.
It's really windy right now.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, before we jump into week 15, let's take a look back exactly how you did with last week's spreads. And not a bad week for you. You had 13 points. Kind of one of your, probably right around your average, I would say. It's probably in there. I've never really actually totaled your numbers to see what your average points is. Maybe I should do that before next week if I remember. But 13 points. You had four games you guessed on the money. Although the biggest elephant in the room we got to address is your lock of the week ended up failing you. And that drops your, as that reminded, that was the Cincinnati Bengals. You said they were going to cover the 1.5. They lost that game outright to the Niners in overtime, which now drops your lock of the week record to 5-9 on the year.
Yeah,
so
doing the lock of the week on a Wednesday, sometimes it's really difficult because I was so certain that Deebo Samuel was not going to play, and nope, they did. So they had a running back after all.
Yep, tough beat.
Just Jeff Wilson's trash. So I was like, if Jeff Wilson's their only running back they have, yeah, give me Cincinnati, even with the whole, injured finger that Burrow had. But I'm like, once I saw that Deebo was healthy and was going to play, I was like, fuck me, I'm going to lose this.
Yep. All right. Well, as we get ready now to jump into this week's of games, Cohooney, I guess it only leaves, one last question.
Are you ready?
Do I have your attention now?
That
should be a drop.
What was
CM
it?
Punk, do I have your attention now? The CM Punk.
Maybe. All right. Well, with that being said, let's play Can Cohooney Guess the Spread week number 15. And the best part about it, no more bye weeks. Everybody's on the field every week now. So, which means you got 16 games to pick on. So here we go. Game number 1 kicks off Thursday Night Football. Tomorrow night, it is the Kansas City Chiefs looking for revenge at the LA Chargers.
Oh. This is the Thursday night game, huh?
Yep.
Interesting. They're actually giving us a good Thursday night game. This is a very extremely important game because if the Chargers win, they flat out have the tiebreaker. Chiefs win. Chiefs are up by 2 games with 3 games left to go in the season. So, humongous game. Chargers get 3 points because they're, if you want to call it a home field advantage. I'm going to still go out and say Vegas has Chiefs as 5 point. Go, give me Chiefs minus 2.5.
All right. He says it's the Chiefs minus 2.5 points on the road at the Chargers Thursday Night Football survey. What do you have? So close. How many? What'd you say?
1.5.
3.5. It's the Chiefs 3.5 point favorites.
So there's 6
at the
just
Chargers.
6.5 point favorites on neutral. I could buy it.
At the Chargers.
Go Chargers, go.
Humongous game, like I said. Chargers lose that. Oof. Chargers win that. They're pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot.
Yeah, actually, I think you might be right. You just might be right when it comes to that. All right. We'll move things on to Sunday as you pulled up with 1 point through the Thursday night game, and it kicks off with the Las Vegas Raiders. Trying to bounce back to that, whatever you want to call that game at Kansas City last weekend. They're in Cleveland to take on the Browns.
Hey, Raiders, just do me a favor. Don't step on the Browns logo like you did Kansas City's logo. Like, what are you thinking? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I say he's an idiot.
say they're idiots. Yeah. Uh, Browns really did not look that good, even though they won against Baltimore, but they beat a Baltimore team with Lamar injured and barely beat them. Still, they're at home. Oof. Must-win game for both teams, you can argue. Give me Browns minus 6.5.
He says it is the Cleveland Browns, 6.5-point favorites when they host the Raiders on Sunday. Locked in. Survey. What do you say on the money? But what's
Raiders.
incredibly interesting about this, so it is correct. The Browns are 6.5-point favorites. Have you been hearing all the mess that's been going on in Cleveland Browns camp?
Yeah, they shouldn't be playing.
Yeah. Well, if you actually look at the live line right now, at least when I looked at it yesterday, it swung all the way to the Raiders as a 1-point favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So-
But remember, so for those who don't know and haven't been following along, we go off of the ones that come out Tuesday during the morning time. So obviously,
And they don't
we
change.
on the ESPN Pick'em League, and they don't change. So it's a ESPN Pick'em League on Tuesday. So, yeah, I'll be shocked if we don't get a Tuesday night football game to see this between those two teams. I can see it happening with all the COVID stuff going on.
Maybe. All right. Keep things going as 3 points to your bank, which hits you at 4 through 2 games. All right. Next up, 2 teams fresh off the bye. One is the red hot New England Patriots. They're traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.
I mean, you can argue both teams are red hot. The only game Colts have lost lately is the Buccaneers, and
Hey, you know
that's
what?
not a bad loss.
You know what?
This is
Colts
really tough.
are as hot as
This is really tough because you have to imagine Belichick's going to be taking Taylor out of the game plan, but it's still Jonathan Taylor, like second best running back in the whole league. Oof. At Indy, honestly, dude, I'm gonna go out and say it's in Indianapolis minus 2.5. I'm gonna say Vegas has Patriots just a tad bit of a favorite.
All right. Well, he says it's the Colts 2.5-point favorites. It's locked in. Survey. What do you say?
Yeah, baby.
He got it again. That's 2 in a row on the money. 3 more points to the total, which gets you at 7 now through 3
I'm
games.
kind of really close. I'm kind of curious what the money is on that game. If a lot of people are taking Patriots.
Well, if we just take a quick second, I could probably tell you that. Let's see. Pulling it up on my BetQL app over here. New England. So right now the current line is it's still at 2.5. 72% of the money is on New England.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pro money advantage by 14% on New England. So
That makes sense.
yeah. All right. Next game up, it is the Carolina Panthers traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills.
Who would have thought in Week 15 that the Bills would be in the 7th seed in the NFL or the AFC? Like,
Not me.
this is a definitely. Yeah, the ironic part is I think I had Bills as the 1 seed in my predictions, and I think I had Patriots as 7. So they kind of flip flopped. Panthers have I don't know what the hell the head coach was doing. They literally benched Cam Newton only to bring him back in because the other guy was. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Bills minus 7.5.
Oh, excuse me.
That might be a little low. But
All right, he says the Bills minus 7.5. Locked in. Survey. What do you say?
Wrong.
Incorrect. Actually, try 10.5. The Bills
Yeah.
10.5-point favorites. So,
Okay.
but three points off, which means nothing deducted, nothing given. 0.
They have no run game. I'm just really struggle to see how they put up offense. But Panthers, their defense has been really bad lately, so I can see it. That's something I'm touching.
All right, next game on the slot. It's an AFC Eastern Division matchup featuring the New York Jets, Jets, traveling
against
down south to take on the Miami Dolphins.
the playoff-bound Miami Dolphins.
No, you're right.
Looking at that schedule, they have the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, the rest of that schedule is
Miami minus 12.5.
all right. He says it's the Dolphins that are 12.5-point favorites when they host the Jets on Sunday. Survey. What do you say?
I'll say it. He's an idiot.
Yes, the Dolphins are only 8.5-point favorites. 8.5, which means 4 off, which loses you a point to drop you down to 6.
I feel like they're more than a 5.5-point favorite on a neutral field. I had the right idea, just a little too much. Enough. Zach Wilson's so goddamn injury prone. But I'm definitely think I'm going to be betting that this week.
Wow.
All right. Moving things
Not injury
on.
prone, turnover prone.
Moving things on now. It is the Washington football team traveling to Philly to take on, fresh off the bye, the Eagles.
Yeah, but it's not like they have Andy Reid off the bye. You could argue both these teams. It's a must-win game. NFC is so weird. I don't know who the hell is getting that 7th seed. I feel like it's gonna be one of the NFC East teams. So whoever wins this, you could argue that they're gonna be going to the 7th seed. But both these teams have to play the Cowboys. Those could be losses.
What?
Do you think an 8-9 team is going to make the playoffs this year in the NFC?
Probably lean towards it.
Yeah, crazy. All right, so it's in Washington, in Philadelphia. I'm going to say that
Washington at Philly.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Vegas has it as a coin flip, leaning towards Washington. So give me Philadelphia minus 2.5. I think it's a legit coin flip. This game can go either way.
All right, he says it's Philly minus 2.5. It's locked in. Survey. What do you say?
No.
It is the Eagles favored by 2.5. 2.5.
What did I say?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said 2.5. It's 4.5. I got the whole thing where I'm looking at it. I'm forgetting which one was your guess, which one's on there.
I say he's an idiot.
No, yeah, I'll give you that one. No. So, but anyways, yeah, no. So you had 2.5. It's the Eagles 4.5-point favorites. 4.5. So
I don't think on a neutral field Eagles should be the better team.
I award you no points.
yeah, that's where that ends on that one.
It's-
So no points there.
Definitely think I'm going to be betting Washington. How do they do? I got to look to see how they did the first game. I thought Washington won that one.
I don't know, man. All right, Where to keep things going though? Next game up, it is the Arizona Cardinals at the Detroit Lions.
God damn, that was a loud burp. Oh, well, if you're going to lose DeAndre Hopkins, at least your first game back without him will be in Detroit. So it's a gimme. God, Arizona's pissed too. Coming off that loss. Detroit's already won their Super Bowl this year. Give me Arizona minus 10.5.
All right. He says it is the Arizona Cardinals going into Detroit on Sunday as 10.5 point favorites locked in. Let's check with the survey, which says it is the Cardinals favored by 13.5. 13.5. 3
So
points off.
a neutral field, they're 16.5 point favorites. That is insane. That's a lot of points for a road team.
Insane in the membrane.
That is a lot of points for a road team.
Yep. So, all right. Well, Cooney, you started off with the bang. The first 3 games, you pulled up 7 points. But the last 4, you've lost a point. So you're at 6. But hey, it's never too late to get back on it. So, and maybe it could start with this game because it features your own team. It is the Dallas Cowboys traveling to New Jersey to take on the Giants. Wrong button.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
How about that defense? Because God forbid their fucking offense has been shit trash. Whew.
I went ahead and wrote NYG because I know you're going to say the Giants.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's going to be Giants plus 5.5.
All right, so you're saying Dallas will be 5.5 point favorites on the road. Survey.
Their offense is just not good right now.
What do you say?
It's not even close.
Yep, not close. The Cowboys are 10.5 point favorites.
I mean, they blew out the Giants at home earlier this year, so I mean it makes sense. But Barkley went down that game. Daniel Jones was ass, but and the offense was good. Like their offense is just so shit trash right now. I don't know.
Well, unfortunately, it is another point that what were you gonna say? Something about your team?
My team sucks.
Something like that?
Oh yeah, their offense sucks. Their defense is fucking top 5 right now.
All right.
So,
Well,
dude.
a point deducted, which puts you at 5 now. 5
Fucking
points.
Randy, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, and Michael Parsons all playing at the same exact time. I told you Taylor Heineke was going to run for his life, and honestly, he did. If it wasn't for Dak being an awful quarterback last week, that game would never have been close.
All right, we keep it rolling now to the next game. It is the fresh off the bye Tennessee Titans headed to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.
Ew. Honestly, I can see the Steelers winning this. Were the Titans in Jacksonville last week?
They had a bye last week. No, wait. No, wait, that's right. Never mind. The Titans didn't have the bye week. They had a bye week 2 weeks ago. Tennessee played.
No, were they in Jacksonville or were they at home?
I'm pretty sure the Titans were at home for that game.
They were in home. And against Jacksonville at home, they were 8.5 point favorites, so 5.5 on neutral against that team. Now they're on the road. I would argue that the Steelers are. I'd argue the Steelers are about 6.5 point favorites. So give me Buffalo minus 3.5. Not Buffalo, Tennessee minus 3.5.
All right, he said the Tennessee Titans 3.5 point favorites on the road in the Steel City of Pittsburgh.
Honestly, I could see the Steelers winning this outright.
Locked in. Survey, what do you say?
How about no?
The Titans are favored, but by 1.5.
I was thinking that too. I was like,
All right. Well, no points to you there, and hopefully to get back on the train here, and maybe it starts with this train wreck of a game here,
Vikings.
And it is the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I didn't watch. Oh, for fuck's sake. Just because they're the home team, I'll say Vegas is giving them the lead. I don't know, dude. Davis Mills looked good last week, even in the loss. Jacksonville minus 3.5.
He says that, wow, and I've said this before, that sometimes, like, when you don't, I think this might be the first time I've ever had to write Jacksonville down. Just because, you never will ever pick them to favorite. So, I mean, double check. You said Jacksonville 3.5, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, he says the Jaguars, I guess they're both 2-11, but the 2-11 Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's the battle for the second pick in the draft.
Yeah. All right. He says Jacksonville 3.5-point favorites at home when they host the Texans this weekend. Locked in survey. What do you say?
So close.
Is it Houston 2.5?
No. If it was Houston 2.5.
No, I mean it's Houston. Is Jacksonville 2.5?
Yes, Jacksonville 2.5
so
point favorites.
I meant to say like Vegas has Houston as the better team on neutral field is what I kind of meant to say.
Yeah.
By that.
All right. Now that completes the morning games on Sunday. Now let's move on to the afternoon, and it kicks off with the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Mile High to take on the Broncos.
Must-win game for both teams. Honestly, is Cincinnati done enough lately to even get a lot of points on a neutral field? Let's see. Yeah, give me Bengals minus 1.5. I'll say they're 4-point favorites on the road. Neutral field.
All right, he says he's going to take the Bengals on the road as 1.5-point favorites. Locked in survey.
Denver.
What do you say?
Is it Denver?
It is 1.5 points, but it is the Broncos that are the favorite.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying I kind of talked myself into giving Tennessee. I talked myself into giving Cincinnati more points than they deserved. Oh well. I only think I got one correct so far, don't I? Or do I have two?
You still have two guesses correctly, but you've struggled since then. So
definitely.
Yeah. All right. Next up on the docket, it is the ATL Atlanta Falcons traveling to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.
So Cordell Patterson's going over to face off against another wide receiver turned running back in Deebo Samuel. Interesting. Niners minus 7.5.
He says it's the Niners that are 7.5-point favorites at home when they host the Falcons on Sunday. It's locked in. Survey. What do you say? No, but don't worry because it is so close. It is the Niners 8.5. 8.5.
Feels great, baby.
What?
What?
What was that drop?
What was that?
What was that drop?
Feels great, baby.
Feels great, baby?
Yeah, you don't remember that with Jimmy G? Like,
No.
you don't remember that?
Dude, at first I thought that said just win, baby. I was like, what?
I have that drop though, but I wouldn't use it.
I know.
No, you don't remember. You don't remember that time? I think it was after a primetime game, and Jimmy Garoppolo got interviewed. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been like Rachel Nichols or someone else like that. But they were basically asking like questions or whatever, and then she
was that
goes
the one where
like,
he hit on her? Or it's like
indirectly. I don't know. Like there was never really like a for
hit on
sure.
Rachel Nichols.
Was there like a for sure thing? Like they kind of said like it just could have been like just his response in the moment wasn't hitting him. But yeah, like she said like, how do you feel? And he's like, feels great, baby.
Feels great, baby.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. It is a point though. Only one off, so you get a point to your total there. All right, moving on. Next up, it is the Green Bay Packers traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens.
Is Lamar Jackson going to be out?
I don't know, man.
He is questionable. Will not practice Wednesday. More likely he will turn in week. I don't think he's going to play. So give me with Huntley starting. At least it's at Baltimore. God, imagine Huntley having to play in Lambeau. Ooh. Still, give me Packers -6.5.
Sorry, we're texting one of the other podcast member. You said Green Bay. No, just clarifying. He'd be good to go. You said Green Bay by how many again?
-6.5.
All right. He says Green Bay -6.5 when they travel to the Ravens or Baltimore. But all right, locked in. Survey, what do you say?
That ain't true.
It ain't true. Green Bay is 4.5 point favorites. 4.5 points.
Hey, give me a second. This is
How's
not my
it?
lock of the. This is not my lock of the week, but it is a lock of the week. If Lamar Jackson misses, Green Bay will cover that.
Oh wow!
But it's
Congratulations.
I'm not going to make it because especially after last week where I was so sure Debo wasn't going to play.
All right.
If for those out there, if you do not think Lamar Jackson is going to play this week, go bet Packers -4.5 before he gets announced out, and then everyone does it.
Except Cohoon's telling you to do it, which is an ultimate sign of that you should not do it. So don't.
Yeah, baby.
Anyway, should we move on? Cool. All right, next game, the last of the afternoon games. It is the Seattle Seahawks. And must-win game, I guess you could say, for them if they have any chance. Well, they got to do it at LA against the Rams.
Divisional rival. Let's go with let's go with the Rams -10.5.
He says the Rams are huge favorites at 10.5 points. It's locked in because the music bed has concluded. Survey. What do you say?
I'll say he's an idiot.
The Rams are favored by 6.5. 6.5 points.
They're not 3.5. Whatever. It's divisional rival. I'm not doing a lock of the week on divisional rival.
All right. It's a point loss from your total there. And we have 2 games left to try to get some points on the board here. And it starts here with Sunday Night Football. It is the New Orleans Saints looking to sweep the season series, which is just 2 games. But they'll try to do it when they go to Tampa Bay to take on Brady and the Bucs.
Brady and the Bucs. Let's go with Tampa Bay -10.5. I don't think Vegas is putting anything on New Orleans.
All right. He's saying it's Tampa Bay 10.5 point favorites when they host the Saints on Sunday. Survey. What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Correct on the money. It is the Buccaneers 10.5 point favorites. 3 points to your total there. And I guess I should update. Let's see exactly where we're sitting here before we go into the Monday night. So let's see. Got 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 9. I got you at 9 points going into Monday Night Football. So,
well, let's make it double digits.
the very worst, it could be 8. You might sit at 9. You could get at 10, or you could get to 12. The only thing we do know is you can't get 11. That's one thing we know. So,
How with that
all right.
attitude.
Next up, Monday Night Football. It is the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Chicago to take on
The Bears.
How is this Monday night?
I don't make the schedule.
I should have flexed
Can't do
this
it.
out of Monday night. That's oh my god. I feel like Minnesota and Chicago are like the two teams that play way too much primetime games. They both suck. Let's go with Minnesota minus 2.5.
All right. He says it's the Minnesota Vikings. 2.5-point favorites on the road at Chicago. Monday Night Football. It's locked in. What do you got, Survey?
So close.
Very close. The Minnesota Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. 3.5 on Monday Night Football. All right, let's total the points here. Make sure I didn't miscount earlier. Let's see, we got 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 9, 10. All right, so I got you at 10 points here in week number 15. So not the best for you. You had 3 guesses on the money. That was Cleveland, Indianapolis, and the Buccaneers. Misses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You had 6 misses. Your big misses 1, 2. You had 3 of those. So 3 big misses there. And I guess all that leaves now is what will be Cohooney's lock of the week.
What's the Chargers spread?
The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites.
Kind of trying to figure out, do I take the game? Do I take the obvious answer? But that game could cancel or get moved. I don't know if we want to touch with all the issues in the Raiders game. And that's the obvious one. I mean, shit, the Browns are what, 6.5-point favorites, and the Raiders now are actually favored. That's the obvious lock of the week. But I've been like ass all season, so I'll just continue being like ass. Lock of the week. Gonna go with they're gonna sweep. Give me the Chargers minus plus 3.5.
Locked in.
Oh, wow. A bold move. It's like he's basically giving up any credibility on his lock of the week, but he is locking in that the Chargers will. So you're not even. So, I mean, it doesn't count to lock of the week by saying they're winning outright.
No, I
Obviously,
said
you're
they're
locking
gonna.
your
I
lock of
said
the week.
plus
Yeah,
3.5.
Your lock of the week only implies with the points. But are you saying that the Chargers just to the hell of it? Are you saying the Chargers win that game outright?
Yeah,
The
must win game for them. If they win that game, the playoffs are pretty much, unless they go 0-3 the rest of the season, that the playoffs are pretty much guaranteed. Division, not so much, but they will have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they're going to get Keenan Allen back. Mike Williams will be back. Mike Williams played last week, but he wasn't right. Austin Eckler still doing Austin Eckler stuff. Derwin James. It's just, I feel like they're just, they're ready. They got to prove it.
All right. Well, we'll see. We don't have to wait too long for that because that game is tomorrow night. So, yeah, we won't be able to watch that game because we got some plans of our own. But
Yeah, we will.
Well, I guess we could watch part of it, at least most of it. But
What time's the movie?
isn't it like 8:30?
What time's the game?
8:30 Eastern.
Fucking idiot.
Come on, give me some credit. At least I came up with that on the spot. Come on.
All right, I think Jason's
All right.
ready. Let's get
Yep.
going. Let's
All
get out
right.
of here.
All right. That does it. Can Cohooney guess the spread week number 15? It's in the books. We'll be back next week for week number
Spider-Man,
16.
Spider-Man.
And no
Spider-Man.
main show this week because we're seeing Spider-Man as it comes out this weekend. So no
And
main show. Look forward
and
to
no
coming
show
this week.
next week either.
And there won't be any show next week either. So a couple weeks.
But we'll be back for the. Can I blow ass at picking spreads again?
Yep, we'll be back for that. So, all right, that does it for us here on Can Cohooney Guess the Spread over here on Sports Bets with Mostly Chaos. And yeah, like I said, you'll see us real soon, y'all.